Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes with your host Bert Laporte, Damian Monte Carlo, and Angry Mike D. Alright, sit back and enjoy the ride as they talk about all things that rock and other useless knowledge you don't care about. And remember, every asshole has an opinion. This is theirs. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. This one is for Halloween this month, right? October. So this Halloween, the monsters are loose. Not in the movies, but in the riffs, right?
Yes, they are.
From vampires to werewolves, zombies to kaiju. You ever heard of kaiju? Hard rock and heavy metal have always loved creatures of the night. Tonight, we're counting down to the ultimate monsters of metal playlist. What do you think?
I think we might have to add in a couple. There's so many we could do here, but we just picked a random. We picked some random song titles.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an open discussion. No ratings, no bullshit. Just talk about it. Talk about it. We go in depth a little bit with the bands too. So, I mean, there's a ton of bands that we're not going to get in this all in one episode. You know, so I'm sure we'll do more down the line. But yeah, the monsters are loose. Damien said they're rattling the cages. They're ready to come loose. The clock strikes midnight.
They're coming out of their cages. Yeah, once midnight, once the full moon's out, there you go. You know, you got to look out for those riffs, man.
And the monstrous riffs.
Yeah, they conjure up the monsters. They conjure the demons. Those riffs, monstrous riffs of Halloween.
Not guitar riffs.
Monsters of Metal, Mike.
Monsters of Metal, Mike.
You buy in Kmart back in the day.
Yeah, masters. They were masters of metal back then.
What was that? I don't remember that.
K-Tel used to put it out.
Yeah.
The Masters of Metal. Oh, some great. They were like good compilation cassette tapes and stuff like that. It was good. You would go to like a Kmart or something. They would have them in there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. I actually seen one on vinyl not that long ago. I should have bought it. And I didn't buy it. It was like $8. I should have bought it just for the fucking sake of it, you know? Because back in the day, you would buy compilation stuff, right? Now you want the whole record, you know? I don't know. Yeah,
there's just one company that puts them out now, and it's like they don't bill it like it's a compilation. They bill it like if it's a Metallica, it's like the World of Metallica or something like that.
Yeah, but if you see something like that, it's not real artist.
Right.
That's
what I'm saying. And it's like there might be like 10 like really unknown artists on there.
Right. Well, what it used to be is a buddy of mine used to do, as a matter of fact, Donnie, who does a lot of recording with us, but Donnie sang. I sang on one, but they didn't use it. And Donnie sang on two. My buddy Tommy sang on one. Halloween one year, they came out with this thing. And the Warehouse Studio, when it was around in Philly, one of our buddies helped engineer over there. And they would come in, record a bunch of different stuff. And you say you record Number of the Beast or something like that, you know, and then at Halloween, you would see like a cassette thing, like, I don't know, maybe like a Party USA or Party Store or something like that. And you buy this cassette and you see the song titles and it's not the real artist. It's other people like any jabroni, like me, you, or whoever are singing the song. It's close. They make it sound close. They do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I have a couple of them in my collection at home. On cassette.
Yeah, it's not really the real band, but you know, it's more like a gimmick for the holiday or whatever it is. So when you see the faces of, they come out, I see a couple of them now. They come out with like the faces of Kiss. It's not a Kiss compilation. It's a Kiss.
Yeah, you see them on Spotify. Too.
It's a Kiss covers compilation on a band that's usually not a signed band or just an artist in the studio, and somebody probably pays them, or I don't know how that works.
When you look on somewhere like Amazon for them, it's very hard to decipher it's not the artist that's on there, you know?
Yeah, you got to know about the artist. Absolutely.
Right.
I seen the Judas Priest one on there. It looked fucking fantastic. I was like, I already know it's not them, but the album cover looked great, you know? But So let's get back to the monsters of rock. All right. So if we talk about any kind of metal stuff with monsters and all, we got to talk Iron Maiden. and we can name Number of the Beast and stuff like that. Let's just go with Phantom of the Opera from 1980, from the debut record. Let's talk about that, Dane. What do you got, Dane? What are you thinking about the Phantom of the Opera?
Ah, man, it's early Maiden, epic song inspired by the Gothic tale. I mean, what more? What more do you want? I mean, those early Maiden records. I actually like the Bruce Dickinson stuff better, but those early Maiden records,
good,
they
though.
were the first two, Paul Di'Anno. They were a little more
punky, I would say.
Yeah, but definitely they had more of like a horror kind of.
Yeah, it was mixed in there. Running Free.
Where the other stuff with Bruce Dickinson, I seen you could tell that they grew. It got a little more intelligent, I guess. But
yeah, but it was the first couple records, and I love all the Bruce stuff, but I love the two Di'Anno records too. I mean, I think it was I think for them to last as long as they did, it was probably necessary that they did get Bruce. But them two records are great records. Mike, anything on Phantom of the Opera?
Oh man, it's a great track. A little bit of a long track,
7 minutes or so. Yeah,
but sometimes tracks like that needed. It's epic. It tells a story.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's got the gallops in there. It's got tempo shifts. It's got melodic passages going through everything. It's really like, I guess, the earliest showcase of Maiden guitars and to the progressive sound. It's based on, if I say this correct, because the way I read the English language, based on Gaston Leroux, if I'm saying that right, 1910 novel, The Phantom of the Opera, and its horror adaptations also. The lyrics, funny thing is, the lyrics are from the perspective of the Phantom himself, vengeful, lurking beneath the opera house. So it's more like the Phantom's point of view, it's pretty much obsession, madness, but it's got all the imagery in it. And they still do the song once in a while live, which is pretty cool. Like we said, we got Paul Di'Anno was on the vocals at this time. It was written by Steve Harris. Dave Murray's on guitar. Also, Dennis Stratton, who was in Maiden when they first started.
He was there for a cup of coffee.
Maybe a record or two.
Yeah,
definitely
English. It'll be a cup of tea.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, a cup of tea. So he was only there for the debut record, and it was definitely the introduction to all that new wave British heavy metal. It did have a punk influence, though.
How can you talk about Iron Maiden without mentioning the monster of metal himself, Eddie?
Right? The best artwork ever. I mean, the best artwork ever. That's probably the biggest mascot, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, you don't look forward and go, oh, what's Iron Maiden going to look like in this picture? We don't care. We want to see what Eddie's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie the Head, which is funny. It's how it started out. That's funny, man. So, so the cinema connection with the Phantom, with the music, it all makes sense. And like I said, there's a ton of Maiden we could do. We just chose that for the hell of it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to another one. How about this? This is another band we could have picked any song. The masters of horror punk themselves, the Misfits. Night of the Living Dead came out in '79. It's a punk horror classic, and people love it. People love it. Dan, what do you got about the Misfits, Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah, punk horror classic, but it's got a very strong metal crossover, within the metal community. It's very they're like definitely like a crossover act, like
more of the later stuff too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even the stuff after Danzig when they had Michael Graves, total metal / punk band.
Yeah, the Michael Graves stuff was definitely a little more metal leaning, I thought. But I mean, it's the track itself. It's it's a classic track, as are a lot of them from that original Danzig era stuff.
Yeah.
Mike Danzig didn't stay with them.
Yeah, I kind of, I was happy that they got the best of both worlds. Like, I love Danzig. It's another guy that could have been on the list. I mean, he's doing reunion tours with them here and there, or not tours. I would say shows. You did see one. How was it, Dame?
One of the top 5 best concerts I've ever been to.
Wow, and that was at Madison Square Garden too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
2019, killer.
Crazy.
It's funny. I know one of my friends swears he saw Danzig and Toys R Us buying. I forget what the hell he said he was buying. I don't know if it was like starting lineups or something like that, or it was Todd McFarlane toys or
It's
something.
possible. It's definitely a possibility. We always had that story with our buddy Frankie Meatball and Danzig. There's
Yeah, I
always
was there for
that.
that.
Oh, what was that one? I don't know that one.
Oh, there's just a couple of them that I
Yeah,
think the
there
one
was.
where
Yeah, it was.
you get to tell us the story thing.
Yeah, it was Ozzy, Danzig, Sepultura, and I think Life of Agony
Wow.
was at the Spectrum in the '90s, and it was and we had front row, and Danzig, Frank's girlfriend at the time, she loved Danzig, and
Yeah.
he said something to he said something. Danzig said something from the audience that he's going to bang his girlfriend, and Frank was just like, fuck you. He was giving him the finger and everything. It was like a big thing. And then like that later that week, Danzig did like some comic book signing at Tower Books on South Street, and Frank and his girlfriend went. And Danzig remembered him. He mentioned it. He was cool about it though.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Funny stuff, man.
Yeah.
Mike D, want to add anything to this?
No, we're good here.
All right, for me, Night of the Living Dead by the Misfits. It came out October 31st, 1979, right on Halloween. It was a single. The other side, I think, was Where Eagles Dare. It's only like a 2-minute song, classic Misfits, bang, bang, boom, boom, in and out. The inspiration was by George A. Romero's 1968 film Night of the Living Dead, which we all know. The zombie movie. It created all the undead stuff, I guess. It all spawned from that, I guess. The lyrics talk about cannibalism, graves, dead bodies, and of course, then Glenn's voice, with the little evil Elvis going on. Yeah, awesome, man. I mean, really good. The chorus is really catchy too. I would say the Misfits were probably the birth of horror punk, right? I would say they have to be.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I think pretty much all their songs are pretty much horror inspired, all the artwork and everything. That's
Yeah.
probably the number one that I think of when I, mention
Yeah.
horror and music,
And they inspired many, many bands. I mean, from
Mhm.
Metallica to whoever. I mean, they all covered Misfit songs at one point. Um, Put you on the spot, Dame. If you had to pick one Misfit song off the top of your head, what are you thinking about?
Man, on top of my head. I like Where Eagles Dare probably.
Yeah, Mike D.
That's what I would have said.
I want to go with Skulls. I love Skulls. I love
Yeah.
that song.
Hollywood Babylon's another one.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. And Misfits are one of those bands that they didn't really put out albums in the beginning. They put out singles. It was all single.
Well, that was the whole underground punk movement.
Mhm.
Was pretty much all that 7-inch single.
Yeah, and they all did it. It's the DIY, do it yourself kind of deal. It was all totally that, totally that. Even for the cover art for the 45, they used stuff from Romero's film, which is pretty wild that they got away with that. Probably,
Mhm.
All right, let's move on to some werewolf stuff. Dang, are you howling like the wolf?
Ow. I love the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf. The wolf.
Mhm.
I only know one wolf. The only one wolf I know lives not too far away from me.
Oh yeah.
And he sings like an angel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go on this. This was a good, I would say, a deeper track, even though they do play it live once in a while. Metallica, Of Wolf and Man. What do you got, Dan? What do you think about Of Wolf and Man?
It is a deep track. Yeah, definitely one of the better deep tracks I thought. Especially on that album, the Black Album, which is classic. Yeah, I always like that song. And you know what? The Wolfman doesn't get enough love as far as monsters of metal go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you get there's Werewolf in
Moon.
London.
There is.
Yeah, I'm talking
Bark
about
at the Moon.
Yeah, which we'll talk about a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any others besides those two, but I'm sure there's others.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's at least 2 or 3, like it's off the top of my head, but I think we just named all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Mike D, you want to add anything to?
No, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite Metallica tracks, but or one that would even roll off my tongue. But it's definitely a good track on the album that I forget about.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. You forget how good it is till you hear it again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was on the Black Album, of course. So, I mean, there's so much good stuff on the Black Album that even the worst song's still a good song on that record. The lyrics draw directly from werewolf mythology with shape shifting and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Even they talk about the line of shape shift nose to the wind. It's pretty cool because I always I always thought it was when I first heard it before I looked at the lyrics, I thought it was back to the meeting, back to the meeting. It's back to the meeting, but it sounded like back to the meeting to me.
Yeah.
Back to the meeting, back to the meeting. But yeah, I mean, it's a primal song, definitely a primal song for them. Yeah, we got another Metallica one we threw in this here. I don't know why we put two Metallicas, but there's another Metallica one here. It's not the thrashiest song, but it's a pretty damn good song, and it's a song about shapeshifting. So we're gonna lead that right into Ozzy Osbourne, "Bark at the Moon." Damo, what do you got on "Bark at the Moon"?
There we go. Talking about werewolves. That's an
Yeah.
iconic one.
Yes.
And it's probably probably maybe like the number one in my opinion. I would have had this number one if we were ranking them all as like monster songs. And great video, great album cover.
Great video.
I mean, great song overall. Great killer guitar playing with the riff and everything, and it's a classic.
Yep, absolutely. Mike D.
When did this come out? What year was this?
83.
This was like 80.
Yeah.
This was probably around the time that American Werewolf in London came out, I'm thinking. Because there's
I'm
a lot
not
of
sure.
because I think around werewolves were pretty big around that
Was
time.
Thriller 83?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thriller was 80, yeah.
Time. So
So it
Thriller
seemed like
probably came out
werewolves were a little
first.
bit big around that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, "Bark at the Moon" came out in 83. It's on Ozzy's third solo record, "Bark at the Moon." Jakey Lee's on it. I mean, that riff is amazing. That's a fucking forever riff. That riff is awesome. I think every guitar player tries to learn that riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember more about "Bark at the Moon" than anything when they were showing behind the scenes back in the day on MTV of Ozzy getting made up with all the makeup and all the hair and stuff like that. I remember that more than anything, and it was pretty wild. And the video was great. Video was great.
Mm-hmm.
It followed the lyrics about a man who dies and rises again from the grave and transforms into this werewolf. Yeah, it's classic B movie stuff. Definitely classic B movie stuff, And I don't know if this is where Ozzy, kind of slipped into the Prince of Darkness deal, but somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good song. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We're going to go with "How Could You Have Halloween Without Alice Cooper?" Alice Cooper, there's a ton of them, but we'll go with "Feed My Frankenstein," Demo.
Yeah, I mean, I would have picked any song.
Just so many.
Yeah. I absolutely hate this song.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
Wow. I like the tongue.
To be honest with
I like the tongue in cheek of this song. Okay, what Cooper song would you pick? What Cooper song would you pick? There's so many of them.
I Love the Dead, probably.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones. But
this was a random list. This was a pretty random list.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people know this song. It was a pretty big hit. Was it on the Wayne's World movie too? Maybe I think.
I don't know. I know it was on "Hey Stupid." I definitely know, but it might have been on Wayne's World too.
But honestly, I was never a fan of this song. I've seen Alice live. That's usually a song where I go get a drink.
Really, I appreciate the song, Mike D.
Yeah, I gotta say I wasn't a fan of it either. Like when this came out, like I didn't know much of Alice Cooper, so this came up 88, 89, I'm thinking
91.
Was it that late? So this is like the first like new Alice Cooper I was ever hearing, and I was not a fan of that song. I kind of just like swore Alice Cooper off for the longest time after that. I didn't get into Alice Cooper until later on.
Could it be the line of "I don't want pizza"? Is that the line that threw you off?
It could be a lot of things in that song, man. I just wasn't a fan of it.
Well, it was a sexually driven song. It sounded like it was a song about eating. You know what I mean? The one line, "Your fairy teacup."
Okay, maybe 1991. My mind wasn't thinking in that. It probably was over my head a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a sex-driven lyrical tongue-in-cheek kind of. But Alice always does tongue-in-cheek stuff where it sounds goofy sometimes, but it's still good. It's weird. But you have other elements with Alice Cooper, like you said, the live show, which I still have until this day. I can't believe I never seen Alice Cooper live. Never seen him live. I don't know how or why. I just never was able to see him. But Dame, you did say you've seen him. How good's Alice live?
A bunch of times.
Good, always good. Yeah. You got the guillotine, you got all the monsters around, and I love the adaptation to the Frankenstein stuff. I do. I think it's pretty cool, and there's a ton of that out there. Little fact: Mark Manning from Zodiac Mind Warped helped write this record, or write this song with Ian Richardson and the Desmond Child. How about that? Glam rock with campy horror elements. Yeah, there you go. Fur cup. Wait, what's fur cup tea? What the fuck? What'd I say? Fur something teacup. Fur shaped cup teacup. It's fucking ridiculous. All right, let's move. It was on Wayne's World in '92.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. All right, so it's fucking silly song, man. This one's fucking great, and I don't like everything they do, but Blue Oyster Cult, Godzilla, classic song. Dame, what are you thinking about Godzilla?
Yeah, it's it's campy like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good tune though.
Yeah, it's a great riff. It's just a great fucking riff.
Put Don't Fear the Reaper, but
listen, there could always there could be an endless parts of this series.
Yeah, I mean,
there's so many.
Fear the Reaper was a little creepier, I thought. As far as the song. But
well, we're going for the monster though. We're going for the monster. Yeah. So it's the monsters of rock. Mike D.
Yeah, for a monster song, this one's pretty on the uplifting side for some reason.
That riff's awesome.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah.
It's not like your Doom monster song. It's a fun one.
Go Godzilla. Yeah. Godzilla. Came from the album Spectrus in 1977. It's totally a tongue-in-cheek song with the lyrics. It's that riff though. That riff's just friggin' awesome. And I don't know how many Godzilla songs there are out there, but this is
probably more than we think.
Yeah, probably. You think, Dave?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Frankenstein too, to go off paper here, Edgar Winter's Frankenstein, that's another great riff. That's another classic riff, man.
There's a new Frankenstein movie coming out soon, I think, too.
I did see a little preview of that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Guess what? They're all pretty good. Every one I've seen was actually pretty good.
What, Frankenstein movies?
Yeah, they're all pretty good.
Yeah,
the one with Robert De Niro was pretty bad.
Yeah, that one, I don't think I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty awful. I don't remember any good ones other than the original ones.
There was a couple ones I thought were pretty good. I don't remember. Like, there's so many of them.
They could use a good remake as long as they make them look the way he did in the original movies.
Right, and
they fuck with it.
They make him look too good almost.
Yeah, that's what gets me. Now, look, I get it. Why does he have a flat head? All that shit. Maybe they could tell a story about that. Why the top of his head is flat. But they make him look.
That is a good question. That you brought that up.
A good question.
They make him look more like a zombie, which probably makes sense. But people don't relate to that. They want to see the original appearance of it.
I get it. Even like that I didn't see that werewolf movie that came out a couple years ago. I have no clue if that's any good. I never watched it yet. It was good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even for werewolf movies, I always think Werewolf in London.
That was probably my favorite.
I mean, and that was kind of campy. That was campy.
Yeah,
I would say.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
with his friend Jack the zombie.
Jacques the zombie. Okay, let's move on to some. You can consider vampire kind of rock or whatever, gothic rock. Let's go to the Typo Negative Black #1. Damo, what do you got?
Yeah, that's probably an ultimate Halloween song. I mean, and he sounds like a freaking Count Dracula singing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as the Universal Monsters, Dracula, if he was in a band, it would be Typo Negative.
Yeah, why not, Mike Ding?
And that's
can't have a Halloween party without this song, man. You just can't. This is probably one of the more evil sounding songs out there as far as like the theme. I didn't like this band for a long time. I just started getting into them probably within the past 5 or 6 years.
They're fucking great. They're so good.
I remember like back in the day, like mid early '90s, you go to the goth industrial clubs, and this was just a staple there, man. They'd play this every night you go. They'd play it at least once, and just every goth kid got up there and was dancing to this one.
It's the greatest stripper song ever. In my eyes, it's the greatest stripper song ever.
I don't know if I ever saw a stripper dance to this one, but it probably would be a good one.
It's a great one. Yeah, I mean, actually, the title's about a hair color, black number one. You know,
I didn't know that for the longest time.
It's Pete Steele poking fun at the goth girls, saying, they all use black number one, pretty much. You know, the line "the die on black," which I didn't know was "die on black." I read the words right. Die on black, I didn't know it's what they meant, but it's got that.
No idea.
Yeah, it's got that whole the bass line. It starts out the song's just creepy as fuck. It's so good. His voice, huge chorus. It's one of my favorite albums of all times and one of my favorite songs from that band. Yeah, Type O, strong man, very strong. Okay, moving on. How about this one here? A little Rob Zombie. We get went with a ton of stuff with Rob Zombie too, but let's go with Living Dead Girl, Damien. What do you got?
Yeah, he could do so many with this one. Yeah, Living Dead Girl. I like that song. That was off his. Was that on his first?
Hellbilly Deluxe. It was on 98. Yep, I think it was his first solo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I love that album. I love the way it sounds and everything. But yeah, this was definitely a bright spot on that album. I thought it was really good.
I mean, it's got all the industrial and groove. I mean,
it's a love letter to B movie horror queens.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great track, yeah.
Mike D, anything else with Rob Zombie here?
No, I saw him live, man. He was great. Absolutely great show. It was during this album too.
Oh wow. Yeah, he does like a whole nice stage show. I never seen him live either. That's another guy I keep missing.
I was here because it was at the Electric Factory too, which is not like a
it was probably before he blew up. Like, I mean, it was big kind of White Zombie started to blow up, but it was probably he went solo, and then after that he blew up because he was doing film after that and all that crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, like Damien said, it's total B horror, which he does. He does it better than anybody. I mean, I even like all the movies he does. Every movie he came out with, I liked every one.
I never saw one of his movies.
That's insane. That's insane, Mike. I can't believe that. You just never got around to it, no? Wow.
Wait, was
crazy.
Wait, was the Monsters his?
Yes, that's the only one. Yes, that's the only. I forgot about that one. That's the
only one I saw.
That's the only one you've seen. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's House of a Thousand Corpse. The Salem one's another one. I forget the title of that, but yeah, I mean, it's just he's got so many good movies, man. Okay, let's move on here to going down the list here. Let's go another Metallica. The Thing That Should Not Be. I love this track. 1986 was on Master of Puppets. What do you got, Damo?
That's a pretty eerie song, I thought.
Yeah.
For that time. I mean, a lot of the stuff was fast and everything. This one was sort of like probably could have been, they never did a video, but they probably could have did a video for that would have gotten some MTV traction for that time. But it's heavy crushing song. I mean, it's cosmic horror brought to thrash. I mean,
absolutely. That's a good way of putting it, Dame. That's a brilliant way of putting it. Yeah, Mike D.
What's this about? Cthulhu?
Yes.
So we used to, back in the day, like in high school, we used to have Sundays and we used to play like Dungeons and Dragons and role playing games, pretty much. So to break the monotony, sometimes it was instead of just playing Dungeons and Dragons, we play other games, but they were just like short kind of games. We played this game. It was called Call of Cthulhu.
Another Metallica song.
And was that? Oh wait, this isn't about Cthulhu, is it?
Yeah, it is. No. It is. No, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, you'd sit there and write your character up for an hour and a half, play the game, we'd last 15 minutes, and then it was over. Cthulhu comes out, kills everybody, and that was it.
And Cthulhu is like a fictional octopus-looking thing with wings, and
I was like H.P. Lovecraft.
yeah, H.P. Lovecraft, exactly. Yeah, yeah. From the what's this? I got it written here. From the shadow of Innsmouth, if I'm saying it
right. Supposedly, like if you see Cthulhu, like you go insane.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it's about. Yep. Yep. At least that's what they're telling us here. Yeah, I love the song, and yeah, and the Cthulhu thing's big. It's used a lot. You see that octopus with all the stuff. You see it all the time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You see it all the time. And before we wrap up here, I mean, how could you talk monster stuff without the original Black Sabbath song? Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, probably one of the scariest songs. I thought,
especially at the time it came out. Can you imagine?
Shit,
Can you imagine?
It is. Those 3 notes, man. Fucking
the tritone, the
tritone riff. Yeah,
yeah.
Man, that's about as horror as you're going to get with Monsters of Metal.
Yeah, and that came out like 69, 70 maybe, yeah. Somewhere around there.
What was the deal with that? There was some kind of myth behind that.
Well, they said that supposedly, I think from what I can remember, as that Geisler sat on his bed and he felt like this image came to him or something, like this dark figure came to him. So he wrote about it, what is this? What is this? That stands before me, covered in black, And it's funny that I mean, well, before I even say that, it's a great song. It's definitely the birth of metal at that point, and it had to be scary as all hell when it first came out. And then Ozzy's voice, man, it's just haunting. Ozzy's voice is haunting. It just is, man, and even more so in this song. And the funny thing was that they said, the rumor was that if you notice Black Sabbath, you always see them with crosses on, and they're saying they started that because you would have occult people and all that stuff like coming at them at their shows, and they're like, hey, we're not about this kind of thing, so they wore it for protection. So that's always been the rumor, that they wore it for protection. That's why you always see them with crosses. Pretty crazy, huh?
Interesting.
Pretty crazy.
Well, so I think from what I understood, like he has had a huge crucifix collection.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, it might have started from there. It might have started as back as, Black Sabbath. Any honorable mentions off the top of your head? Mike, go, you put yours on the spot.
Let's see. Well, you have Warren Zevon, Werewolf in London, which was probably one of my favorite ones.
That's not Monsters of Metal, though.
That's not metal, really.
It's just monster. Yeah.
It's just the Monsters of Rock, folks.
Yeah. How about you, Damo? What are you thinking? What comes up the top of your head? Think of horror monster.
For a monster. Jeez.
Put you on the spot, dude. I mean,
I'm thinking like monster. Not so much like.
How about mummy dust? How you have ghost mummy dust? Top of my head. You could put that in there.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, maybe not iconic, but speaking of Ghost did cover Phantom of the Opera on Phantom.
Right, I was gonna mention that. I wasn't sure if it was that song. They did a great job on that cover.
Great job on it. Yeah, as they do on most stuff. But yeah, I mean, when you link up all this monster stuff, there's a ton of vampire stuff up here. What was that band that all the goth kids used, like Bauhaus? Wasn't that a band?
Bauhaus.
What was that big song? Someone Dracula.
Bela Lugosi.
No, Bela Lugosi's dead. That's it. That was like a huge song. Yeah. There's so much out there for Halloween. This is our first Halloween episode. October just started. So what we're going to do next week, I have no idea. We never do till maybe a day before. So yeah. Get your popcorn, put on your favorite scary movie, listen to your favorite scary record, and we'll see you next week. Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. Late.
All right.